So this is the trail up. You can kind of see it's pretty muddy. Picked a day when it seemed like it was relatively free of rain. Fair amount of sun, not too many clouds, really nice day. Yeah, the birds are pretty happy about the weather too, it seems like. So that is a lot of mosquitoes swarming around me. This is the stream I referenced in my previous video, Investing in Yourself, where I didn't want a video down by the stream because I didn't have mosquito repellent with me. Well, today I brought some Skin So Soft, and I just put it on, and I'm still trying to go for my eyeballs, but it is what it is. I have this spider crawling on my knee. Not sure what that's about. But this is a stream. Really beautiful here. I say that a lot. Pretty muddy to get here. So going back isn't going to be all that much fun, especially the downhill parts, but I have my hiking poles, which are great. So that sound is wild parakeets. So the thing I was going to talk about today that got into my brain was I went to the supermarket, and there was a pretty hefty woman there wearing very brightly colored attire, and you know, you see something big and bright in the periphery of your vision, you're gonna wonder what it is. I mean, it's just situational awareness that makes you look. And then a minute later or so, another woman comes up to her, probably her sister or something. Pretty similar body type, also brightly colored attire. And they probably, oh God, they must have been 250, 300 pounds maybe? I don't know, maybe even more. I'm not very good at judging weight. Probably only an inch or so taller than me, maybe. Maybe not even that, I don't know. Then I was at another supermarket after that, and there was a guy who had he's wearing shorts and sandals, but he had his legs, for the most part, bandaged with ace bandages. But the parts of the skin that were exposed, I could see were purple, really rough looking, kind of like a cross between an eggplant and a tortoise. Didn't look too good. And I looked when I went past him in the aisle, I looked in his shopping cart, and I was surprised, shocked even, to see chips and candy and Pop-Tarts. This guy's, oh, he's probably in his 60s, maybe even older. But it got me thinking back to an incident years ago when I was at a skate park. I was probably, I don't know, my early 30s or something. And I saw these women get out of their car. There was a part of the park where you could skateboard out, and the rest of it was just open, you know, jungle gym and lots of grass, I think a volleyball court. Anyway, so these women get out and they let their dogs run around, and they too were substantially overweight. And I guess I couldn't contain my inner asshole that day. It was such a shock in my brain to see that I said out loud, and there was a bunch of kids probably in their pre-teens, early teens there. I said, look at that, look at those. I'm not going to say exactly how I referred to them, but look at those women, you know, they make sure their dogs get a lot of exercise and probably have a great diet, you know, a good, healthy diet, but they don't take care of themselves. How can that be? How does that make any sense? And a few years later, I heard this concept of BQ, body quotient. It's similar to or I guess conceptually to IQ, you know, to measure intellect. There's also EQ, emotional quotient, to measure, I guess, emotional maturity. And then this BQ, which was an interesting concept. And I haven't heard too many people talk about it, but it was, I think, you know, basically your self-awareness regarding your body and your health. And I thought that was a really interesting concept. And I'm obviously go out in public in this country, and what is it, half of adults are overweight, and half of those, so a quarter of adults, are considered obese. And you know, you have this whole concept of fat shaming out there where people don't want to have the fact that they're overweight and unhealthy be pointed out. I don't think it's because people are assholes on them. There's a little bit of that. Like I say, sometimes my filter doesn't catch up to my mouth, but I think it's because, you know, people see what we think are unhappy people, partly because of their health, and we want to kind of shake them out of it. We know that they're missing out on a lot of important aspects of life because they're not kind of owning up to very real problem. And it's not just, you know, this BMI measurement, which has, you know, apparently some issues with it and how it measures whether you're overweight or obese or whatever. But I mean, it's visibly, when you're carrying an extra 100, 150, 200 pounds, that's taxing your joints, it's taxing your heart, it's taxing your respiratory system. I have friends who suffer from this, and they know it, and I deeply respect them. I think they're great people, but they're, you know, you can see that they're having problems just breathing. If you're having a problem breathing, you're not long for this world, right? That's really good. It's going to affect your sleep. It's going to cause all sorts of mental problems. And so it's, you know, when people point this out, it's not that they are being mean. It's that they actually care, and they don't want to see a country that's committing almost this slow motion suicide by not taking care of themselves. And I understand, or I've come to understand, that, you know, for some people, I think more so women than men, they have this component that kind of has them taking care of others before they take care of themselves. But you know, you have to take some care of yourself, because otherwise you're going to be too sick or end up dead. And what good are you then? So, I don't know, I thought that BQ, that concept of BQ, or self-awareness of your body and your health, is a concept that's not really discussed that much, and hoping to kind of bring it back. Hoping to get some of these parakeets here. You know, I guess one of the things that also brought this to my attention a couple months ago was this episode of this woman. It became she got the name Trigglypuff, and I guess I can insert a little bit of that video here maybe, but you know, she went into this kind of rant, or just frantic and screaming, and you can just tell that she's, you know, she's dealing with the health issue is a big component of her unhappiness. And if she got that under control, I think the other things that she was complaining about would not have meant so much to her. She's kind of fighting a battle that I don't know, like she's not fighting, I guess, the most important battle in her life. And that's not a good thing. Anyway, that's I was thinking about. Another awesome day.